Please let me know if my screen is visible to all. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir. Yes.
Okay, sure. So basically, guys, today we will be covering a bit detail of the functions that we have been covering last week as well. And apart from that, we will be going through some of the functions that basically require some of the details with respect to arguments, quarks, and many more things. So let me start the Jupyter notebook. So guys, just a recap. As I have told you, functions are nothing but a group of statements that actually um run together. A group of statements that can be run together. So for this, what we need to do, we need to basically work on grouping certain sort of exercises. Whenever a function starts, it starts with a def keyword as the thing that we have seen yesterday, not yesterday, the last week. And apart from that, we also covered some of the arguments, some of the like the other things, the body of the function that needs to be passed in. And today we will be covering that thing in more detail. If I'll say, so when we say the types of arguments in a function, so there are different kind of arguments in a function, say required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, variable length arguments. I'll cover all these things in detail. So let's example, I make a simple function def, say ABC, and I'll say sal, and I'll say edu. Let's example, these are the two arguments that I pass, and I'll say print. So did I tell you the difference between print and return?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now the function that we have made, it has two parameters. One is salary, sal, and second is edu. So I have just taken it for any just for the understanding of all. So when I say these are the arguments that are very much required. So these are, so if I execute this, I'll say now say ABC say let's example. You say your education is MPhil and it's greater than 10,000. So whatever it is. So I've just taken example. That example might not be right, but that is the basic scenario where we can use this. Are you guys fine? Like this is one of the function with the required arguments, where whatever arguments, say salary and the education that we have prescribed, that we have basically mentioned in the parameters, are always required. Are you guys with me? Anybody any doubt in it? This is a simple function. Just for the revision that we have done
So
last week. Yeah.
I just joined. Could you please start with the beginning?
Come again.
So I'm saying I just joined. तो फिर मुझे starting का समझ नहीं आया.
So have you attended the class that happened in the last week?
This is my first lecture.
Okay,
First
then.
class.
Okay, then I guess you should attend the basics of this, because we have covered around 5-6 sessions before this.
Okay.
So you have an option that you can go to the portal. You can check the recorded videos in case you want to, or get yourself enrolled to a fresh batch.
अच्छा, okay. Because मुझे किसी ने बताया कि this is the first class.
No, for the entire last week we took this session. This started last Monday only.
Hello, sir.
I'm sorry.
Sir, what are the topics you have done last week? Let me know, because I'm also a new joiner for this.
Sir, I'm also a new joining of this is
I
my
want-
first lecture. Means most
yeah,
of
so-
us are first attending their first lecture. So
So this is basically not the first class. There are around 4 or 5 classes that have been completed before this. So we have done the Python environment. Then we have done
Okay.
like the Pandas library. We have also covered bit of the initial functions that we have been covering, and we have also covered some of the program and the practice that we have done last week. So yeah, if you want, you can join from here. I can give you a bit of background, but the thing is, actually the session has been passed by 4 or 5 classes.
Okay, if we have any doubt on Pandas, you can arrange a class on Saturday, sir.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Query session is fine.
Yeah,
If-
query session is on Saturday. You can come up with your queries, but the thing is, I will recommend. Yeah, I will recommend you. Yeah, I will recommend you to go for a fresh batch, because
Yeah.
Pandas. When I say Pandas, it is basically in Pandas. How we are going to sorry, how we are going to select the rows, select the columns, and many more things is a new thing that is there. So we need to actually do it in a way where in a systematic way. So either you can go with the online classes, one, or second thing is you can actually join a fresh batch. So whatever is fine for you.
Yes, sir. Because we think like we have actually missed the most important topics.
So some of the topics like the pandas is very important, because for the entire journey,
Yes, yes.
yeah, you will be working on pandas 60% of the time.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So anyone from the who has attended last batch, anybody any doubt? Okay. Now now in this case, if I'll say ABC and I'll say 20,000.
Sir,
So-
are you explaining what is the topic? Are you explaining?
So I'm continuing the functions that we have started last week.
Hello?
Hello.
I hope these are arguments, right? Like a
Yeah,
required
yeah.
argument, right?
Yeah. These are the required arguments.
Yes.
So the thing is, when I say ABC and I pass a single argument, then it will not accept. Why? Because these two are mandatory arguments. So these are known as basically the required arguments. So basically these are the arguments which needs to be passed each and every time. Okay. Now, if I change the position of these arguments, if I'll say ABC and I'll say MPhil and say 10,000. Let's example. Then also it will not work. Sorry, if I need to pass it in a quotes, the way the string is passed, then also it won't work because I've changed the position of the arguments. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll say, so second type of argument is known as the argument with a keyword. So here the Python allows you to call the function with a keyword argument. So basically like how do we pass this argument? If I'll tell you, say so this function is basically is same as the function that we have made last time, where we have like the argument that we have mentioned last time. So this is same. So the thing is, if I'll say press enter, it is fine. If I'll say ABC1 and I'll say Akash and I'll say 21, it will say hello Akash, you are eligible to vote. If I'll say ABC1, I'll say 21, comma, it will say it will be an error because I have changed the position. Now if I'll say ABC1, I'll say then it will work because I have specified the keywords while calling a function. Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
Anybody any doubt?
No.
Okay. Third is known as function. Yeah. Did anybody say anything? Okay, I will write it down so that it will be fine for you for your practice. So default, let me tell you, if I'll say def ABC3 and I'll say name is equal to Indian, I'll fix it off and I'll say age is equal to 25. Okay, now I'll say print hello and I'll say name and I'll say again the same thing. If age get to the 14, then your eligible, not eligible. If I'll say shift enter, if I'll say now ABC3, then it will be automatically like the same thing that I have mentioned. If I'll say ABC3, I'll say now what will happen? Anybody any idea?
I guess it won't take the Akash as a name, sir. Because we already specified the name as Indian, right?
Now it will say Akash, you're eligible to vote. The problem is now it has a capability to auto detect the type of argument. Wherever it is string, it will put it as a string only. The problem is if you have two strings here, then it so let me try it out. So did you get it first? What I've been trying to do?
But sir, what about age, sir? We are passing only one argument, not
Yeah.
two.
So that's that's the thing which I have been like that, for that thing only I've been passing a single argument, because the thing is it auto detects Akash if this particular thing accepts the string, then it will be replaced as a string. Now if I'll say ABC3 Akash and 42, now it will say again, so I'll say again Akash 17 not eligible. So it is taking the things in the similar format. So considering the format, it has been replacing the argument. The thing is now, if I'll say it has replaced the first argument automatically. It has considered the string but replaced the first argument. If I'll say now here,
But sir, my doubt is that if we are passing the two arguments, why it is taking only one argument, sir?
because we are passing a single argument here, you like here if I'll pass two arguments, say if I'll say then it will take two arguments. But if I have been passing, so first of all, I have made the arguments as default arguments. Did you see it?
Yes.
Second is just to override them, I've been passing two more arguments, that is Ajay and MCOM. So in this scenario, it will replace these two arguments automatically within the respective places that we have been passing it on. Second is if these two arguments are of different types. So one is say name and second is say age. So the same thing has one is of type int and second is of type say sorry, just give me a second. Let me copy it. One is of type string and second is of int. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now if I'll say ABC3 and now if I'll say 23, what will happen? So you see, okay, now the thing is what it is doing is yeah, so it is not detecting the right data type. It is just replacing the first argument by default. So it has made this string, this 23 as string. Now if I'll say ABC and I'll say Ajay, it will replace. Okay, now okay, I'll correct myself. So the thing is, what it will do, it will replace the arguments basis the position, not the type. So now when I said ABC3, now it has replaced automatically the first thing. Now if I'll change it, if I'll say Ajay and I'll say, guys, please put yourself on mute. Ajay and I'll say Vijay. Now it will give an error. So the thing is, yeah, whenever we pass any of the arguments, so it will take a position of the argument. So Ajay, when it is a string that is matching, so now here comes the concept of a type conversion. So integer can be converted into string, but string, to convert string into integer, it's not that simple. We need to call ASCII value and many more things. So when in this scenario, when I passed ABC Ajay, you see here, it is a string, so it went and it replaced it. When I say ABC and I said 34, then also it replaced it. Now 34 has become string. Now if I passed ABC3 and I passed, say
Sir,
yeah,
sir, actually my doubt is that why it is not showing the error while in case of ABC 334 that one argument is missing.
so the thing is, that's the thing, like when we pass the default arguments, then it takes a second, whatever argument we don't pass, it takes that argument by default that I have specified, that you have specified.
Okay.
But in any other scenario, it will because we have not specified the default argument.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So, but try to be with me. So that's one of the new thing for me as well. So where we say ABC, Vijay and Ajay. So now it will go replace Vijay, but when it goes and replacing 20 age, that is numeric, with a string, then it prompts an error because that conversion is not very much feasible. So you see here, it has prompted an error here. So it says string and int instances are clashed. So now if I'll say, so now, so did you get it? What we have been trying to do?
Yes, sir.
So in a similar type, if I'll say ABC, age is equal to 34, name is equal to, that is, so now as well, if I'll say see here, okay, it was ABC3, now it has taken. With me? You guys with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now the thing is, in some of the scenarios, we actually don't know how many arguments are required. So let's example, I'll take an example. We have been creating a form, user form, where what we want is whenever on the runtime we actually require on the header of the website, we have given that users have to provide the information on their name, age, salary, and many more things. But we are not allowed to take each and every information all the time. So what we need to do, we will make these arguments as an optional arguments, which means whatever user can provide, user will provide, else will pass it on. So let's example, you go to an open website, say you are booking a internet connection type of a thing from like online. Now what happens is when you have been booking this connection, So these companies actually require 2 or 3 of your details, say your address, your name, but they don't have to do anything with your salary. Am I right? But now, just for their understanding, just for their database, they have been making a database where they actually want you to provide as many information as you can. Okay, for these, what they do, they will ask you to pass as much as information that you can pass, that you can give to them. So I'll take an example. I'll say, so these arguments are known as variable length arguments. So let me tell you. So let me tell you. So if I'll say def education, and I'll say for I in edu print I. Okay, I'll say shift enter. Now if I'll say education, I have say 3 educations. One is say MPhil, second is say PhD, and third is say BSc. Okay. Now it will take and print these 3 arguments. If some other person has 4 education, then he can also pass, because it is a variable length argument. BSc. Let's see. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now the thing is, why these variable length arguments are required? Anybody? So one of the example which I have given you.
So this will not show the error if we don't know that how many arguments are to be passed. If we use this method, variable length arguments.
Yeah. So these are basically known as args. Whenever you come across the thing wherever it says args, this means a variable length arguments. Are you with me?
Could you repeat it?
So this is known as args. So whenever we say import pandas as PD, now this PD has been a term for pandas. So in a similar way, whenever you hear a term that is star args, this means the person is talking about variable length arguments. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So these are the basic kind of functions that we use. But apart from that, we have
When do we use range?
range is whenever we use the loop. Like, are you talking about this range?
For I in range of.
Say if I'll say
That's all.
range 10 to 20, print I. Now it will take the values from 10 and it will go till 19 excluding 20. So range is whenever you need anything within a specified range to be worked upon, then you say range. Did you get it?
Yeah, sir, got it. And for the step size, we have to give comma 2.
Yeah, comma 2, 5,
Okay.
3, whatever
Yeah.
it is, it
Yeah.
will be a step size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this is the basics of functions, guys. So with functions, we have different routes actually. We can make, I'll come to that. That is the list with the help of loops. So basically there are two things. One is loop, which I'll cover in detail. Second is function. So these loops are basically used, the next version of loops, like the way they can be used as the next version. Loops are used as the next version for list comprehension. Functions can be used as a lambda functions. I will cover both of the things in detail. But before this, let me tell you something about an other interesting library that we need to cover, is known as NumPy. Have you guys heard about the library NumPy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes.
is NumPy?
It will do all the array functions and all.
Yeah, array functions. So it is used for array function. It is used for some
Numerical calculations. as
numerical
well.
calculations and
Numerical
more.
Python. Full form
Yeah,
is
yeah,
numerical
yeah.
Python.
Yeah, you're right. So it's numerical Python, which basically works on numerical calculations. So before this, to use this, we need to use the function that is import NumPy as NP. So for the libraries called NumPy and Pandas, or any of the library we talk about, it is a never ending kind of a process which has many functions within it. So when we say many functions within it, which means we can use Pandas and NumPy extensively, provided we have like whatever we want to use, we can use it, provided we should be knowing about that function. In case we don't know about the function, then like we can go and we can understand about the functions, but major of the functions that are inbuilt in Pandas and NumPy. If I'll say NumPy and I'll tell you say 5 or 6 functions, but this doesn't mean that the NumPy is restricted to these 5 or 6 functions. There can be many more things in it. If I'll say, let me import NumPy as NP. So I have NumPy with me. I'll say now the alias name of NumPy is NP. I'll say NP dot array. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be a array. Now this array. These arrays that we have are the way that has been passed like a list. But so now it is a kind of a list only. You see, it is a kind of a list only. But why do we require NumPy dot arrays? Why can't we go with the list? Because NumPy arrays take less space. They have a space optimization kind of a thing. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So anybody knows the difference between NumPy array and list? What are the differences? So one is, yeah, NumPy arrays are basically used for mathematical thing. Lists can be multidimensional, and second is both the things, NumPy array and lists are created multidimensional. Both have the feature, both have the capability to do so. And third is NumPy arrays are basically they consume less space. So when I say if I store this value 1, 2, 3, 4, they are not spaced or they are not memorized sequentially, which means 1, 2, 3, 4 are not the things which are actually requiring a sequence kind of a memory on the back end. But when we work on list, they require a sequence kind of a memory on the back end, with the help of, because of which it requires a high amount of storage as compared to NumPy array. Are you guys with me? Anybody any doubt?
So-
Okay.
Could you explain that again?
So when I say list, a list basically contains a sequence kind of a memory location. If you are creating 4 elements in a list, A, B, C, D, so these will be stored in a sequence on the backend memory, with a sequence memory is basically allocated to them. But when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, they have a dynamic memory allocation.
So you're saying the NumPy array is dynamically stored.
So if say, okay, let me,
The order or in order in that type.
yeah, so one is, okay, let me tell you. So let's example, you have this memory, you have this kind of a storage. You have this kind of a storage on your backend. Like this. You have stored 3, you have made an element, made a list of 4 elements. Say ls is equal to 1, 2, A, 3. Now this will require a sequence kind of a, say A1 will go here, 2 will go here, A will go here, and 3 will go here. Okay, now these 3 spaces are left. Now let's example, in these 3 spaces we have the allocation something like this as well. So like this. And now you make another list. And now you have this space filled with, say, 5, this with 4, this with 8. Now an array comes. I created an array of 3 elements. So this will find a place. If first element finds a place here, it will be placed here. Second element is being placed here. Third element is being placed here. It remembers the memory on which they have been allocated to. So this allocation is dynamic, which does not require a sequence kind of a allocated memory to get stored. But in case of an array, it gets stored.
Sequentially stored.
Yeah, arrays are not stored sequentially. They are allocated basis the available space. So
Okay.
these arrays require less space as compared to
The
lists.
list.
Okay, they are lightweight. They are basically comparatively the light in weight. Okay, now if I'll say, okay, I'll say, it is a numpy dot nd array, n dimensional array. I'll tell you what is that. I'll say np dot array for d type is equal to np dot float 32. So now it has been allocated as a float kind of a memory, where it is float, which can go into decimals. By default, it has taken it as int. Okay, guys. Now if I'll say now it is, okay, I'll say Now, but automatically it has become float because one of the element that has been stored is a float. So one of the thing which I will tell you, even the Python, the lists that we have means they can store the elements of different types. So the thing is, so as I've told you, so it is basically objected towards a memory location, like bytes that we allocate. So the thing is, one point is a location is a constraint. And second thing is, with the help of this, is that it makes the memory efficient. And second is, we can perform the element wise operations here. We can perform the element wise operations. So even with the so if I'll say ls is equal to, if I'll say ls 2 3, if I'll say ls 2 plus 3, what will happen?
Three plus three.
Six.
It will say
Yes.
plus 3. Okay, but performing these kind of operations when the size of list is huge, say now, like now how this memory has been allocated. So if I'll say ls2 now, it is 3. But if on the same side, if I'll say, okay, before this let me create a 2-dimensional array in NumPy.
So
Yeah,
why it is taking output is coming as 3?
because I have not allocated it to some point. So ls2. Now if I'll say this, it will be 6. With me?
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say you see, it is a multi-dimensional kind of array, 2-dimensional array that has been created. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say np dot okay, one another thing, okay, before this I will clarify is now it is actually a 3-dimensional array, but the number of items, the lines that we see are 2, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but actually it's a 3-dimensional array you see here. Are you guys with me? So these lines on the end depicts what is the dimension of the array that we have. If I'll say here will make this, it is 2. It will say okay, let me tell you. It will say np dot random dot now it will create 4 rows. You see here 1, 2, 3 and 4 rows and 3 columns.
3 core.
So it's a 4 by 3 array. Now if I'll say this will be a 3 by 4 array because it has 3 rows and 4 columns.
So why it shows only continuous value rather than discrete
Which one?
in last
This one.
random 4 3.
So I have yeah. So these are the 4 random values that I've created. It normally takes a value between 0 to 1. The random values it takes between 0. Are you with me?
4, 3. It means like a 4 rows and 3.
4 rows, 3 columns with the
That-
random values in.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
And the random values are between 0 and 1.
So did you mention that the random value is in between 0 or 1? It
No, this
can be any.
dot random dot rand means automatically means the values between 0 and 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, got it.
And if I'll say here then it will right. Okay, sorry, it's a range. So it basically gives this gives a random values and this gives a values in range or sequence.
Yes, sir.
Now as the same thing that we have done in the thing for I in range say 2 to 10, sorry, and to be incremented by 2. Range, sorry, 12. It will give this. So here I'll say only thing is a range. It was a 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay with me?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we pass some range for getting random values between 10 to 20, like 20 to 30? Like range, can we give in that function, random function?
Yeah. So no, like when I say random dot rand, it is basically the values with. So can you please come again with your question?
No, that random function will give output between 0 to 1 only. So if we want between 10 to 100, 10 to 20, so can we pass some range between which we get some random numbers?
Yeah. So there will be a function in it. So let me think what was that. So we can, so for that we need to generate the integers. So I'll say, so for that we have another function that was int rand or rand. Let me try. I'll say np dot random dot rand, yeah, rand int was the function, I guess. Rand it, I'll say 100 to 300 to the step size of 10. Let me try it. Yeah, it will give me, yeah, it will give me the 10 random values between 100 and 300. Is this the thing you are looking for?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
So now the thing is,
So,
yeah,
normally I'm asking, can you tell difference between range and a range?
so range a, whenever we use numpy, whenever we use numpy, then instead of range, it will be a range because it will be array range. It is known as array range. And in case we are using any for loop or something, we use range only. The meaning is same. Whenever we
Okay,
use
sir.
with numpy, it is a range. Whenever we are using with for loop, it is range.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
So I'll say simple array that I have made. I'll say a dot shape. It says 2 rows. If I'll say a, there's 2 rows, 3 columns. I'll say a dot shape. It will give you the shape of this. Okay. If I'll say, so this a dot shape 0, it will say 2. A dot shape 1, it will say 3. With me? Now I'll say
Yes, sir.
a dot size. It is 6, that and total number of elements which it has. Okay. So now,
Sir, when we write shape 0 and shape 1, it gives the value in row wise.
so this is 2, 3. So this 0 will, so this came as a, if I'll say type.
Okay.
Tuple.
Okay.
If we need to select the 0th element of tuple, we say 0. If you have to select the first element, so it is a shape. It is, you see, what is the output it is giving? 2, 3. This is a
Yes.
tuple. To select the 0th element of tuple, we write a dot shape the 0th element. It will give 2. This is the value it is giving. It is giving value 3. Are you with me?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Sir, can you explain it again?
So what is a shape of 0?
So now when I said a shape, it said it has 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay.
Yeah.
I said a shape, but is a 0th element of a shape. I said it is 2. This is 0th element.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But sir, A shape is telling the type of matrix that array is forming.
Yeah, it is giving 2. So if I'll say sh is equal to, it's fine. Now if I'll say sh 0, what it will give? 2. sh 1, 3, because if I say sh, it is this shape coming. So don't go with that. Like it is some function of numpy. It is just a function to call a tuple.
Okay.
Indexing is possible.
Sorry.
Array indexing.
Array indexing.
Yeah. If you'll say this is 0, if you'll say a, set the first element, you will say a, see. Are you guys fine? Now,
Yes,
the
sir.
now the second thing is what we can do is we can also reshape the elements of NumPy array.
So can you show the declaration part of this? Could you scroll up?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes, just a minute.
Can you scroll down?
Yes, sir.
If I'll say A is equal to NP dot array, I'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, I'll say this 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say A dot reshape. Sorry, say 2, 2. It will make it 2 rows and 2 columns. Second way is NP dot reshape A, 2, 2. It will reshape this as well in a similar way. So now, if I'll say NP, yeah, Ajinkya, any question?
No, sir. No question, sir.
Okay. If I'll say
Yes,
NP
right.
dot ones,
So,
it will create, yeah.
in 72, the output is same, and 73, the output is also same. Why?
Which line?
And
So,
line
okay,
70.
yeah, these are the two ways to reshape. Now, when I say A is equal to NumPy dot array, the capability of NumPy are already stored in A. You can say A dot reshape, or you can call NP dot reshape and call it in this way as well.
Okay, okay.
Okay, if I'll say NP dot ones, now if I'll say A.
Sir, can you explain 71 and 72 once again, please?
So the thing is, if I say 71, I said A is equal to NumPy dot array 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say A dot reshape. Now, how many rows? What is the shape of A now?
1 row and 0 columns.
It is 4 are the values. So whenever we say it, so okay, let me tell you. These are the 4 values only. But if I want to make it into a 2, 2, 2 matrix, then for this what I'll say is A dot reshape it will create it into a 2 by 2 matrix.
Okay, sir.
Same is a function of the another one, NP dot
Once.
reshape. I'll say A, comma 2, comma. Same is a function which can be used like this.
Okay, you have reshaped 2 by 2 matrix again with different numbers, right?
Sorry, come again.
You already you have created the 4 numbers into 2 by 2 matrix, no sir, at the first place.
Both are doing the same thing.
But the numbers are two same.
Yeah, they because here the numbers are 2, 3, 4, 5 only. So this has also reshaped into 2 by 2. This has also reshaped into 2 by 2.
It's other two ways.
Well,
Not reshape.
77 and 78 are the same as the output is.
By two ways we can reshape, right, sir?
Sorry, come again. Sorry, I was not getting a question. Come again.
By two ways we can reshape.
Yeah, with the 2 ways we can reshape.
Yeah.
Okay, both the commands give the same output, right? You meant to say?
Yeah, both will give the same output. So yeah. With me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now another thing which I can tell you is okay, I was saying A is equal to NP dot once. I'll say 2,2. Sorry. What error it is given. Okay. Whenever we pass array, it is like the 2 metric. Okay, now the thing is, if I'll say A is equal to NP dot once, if I'll say A, it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Now if I'll say A dot flatten, now it will convert it into a singular matrix. If I'll say A dot revel, again it will convert it into a singular matrix. So flatten and revel are same methods. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So it happens only to the ones matrix. One
Yeah,
set.
yeah, it will convert it into a singular kind of a matrix. So now here the thing is,
It will
yeah, please.
it will take a default value 1 point.
Because I said NP dot once.
Okay, once.
If I'll say NP dot zeros, it will get a metric of zeros.
Okay, we can take only ones and zeros. Another numbers we can take.
No, so these are the 2 which I have tried.
Okay, only 2 numbers.
Yeah, so there can be many, but these are the things which I have tried.
Okay, fine.
I'll say A is equal to NP dot array now I'll say B is equal to A dot B. I say call again. I'll say B is equal to transpose. I'll say B and I'll say A. The value, it has been 2 rows, 3 columns. Now it has converted into a 2 columns and 3 rows.
2 columns. Yes, sir.
Now I'll say A is equal to NP dot array (1, 2, 3). Now I'll say B is equal to NP dot expand. Sorry, expand something called let me try. It's demo dims. Let me try. Yeah, I'll say B. Now it has increased the dimension. Did you get it? Earlier it has a single bracket. Now it has become a two-dimensional. Are you guys? And now the dimensions that have been expanded are on the basis of the rows. If I'll say C is equal to NP dot expand dims A comma I'll say C. Now the dimensions have been expanded on the basis of the columns.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys with me?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
can you put in 93 one int 93 or input 93?
Okay, so I said, so whenever you say x is equal to 0, this means rows. Whenever we say x is equal to 1, this means columns. So I said np dot expand dims, and I say x is equal to 0. This means expand it from rows. You see, we have expanded it through the dimension. Okay, before this, did you understand what is dimension?
Yes, sir.
So dimension is whenever it is a singular kind of a column, it is a single dimension. But when we say NP, when we say like say double bracket on the end, it becomes a two-dimensional kind of, which now it has a capability to store a 2x2 matrix. Earlier, it has a capability to store only a singular kind of a matrix. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, when I said x is equal to 0, now I can store another row into it. When I say x is equal to 1, now it has a capability to store another column within it. Are you guys with me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so just let me take a quick 5-minute break. I'm just having, just have a 5 break. I'm just having a glass of water. I'll be back. Okay, guys. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm back. So the thing is, apart from this, so okay, anybody any questions till now?
Yeah, sir, I'm having one question.
Uh-huh.
If we use that expand command to again to B for output B, then whether it will become again 3-dimensional array?
So you are saying, like, if I'll say if you'll say now, okay, let's example, I'll make it as B, and it is B. If you'll say X is equal to np dot expand dims B comma X is equal to 0. You are saying like this.
Yes, yes.
Now you'll say X. It is a 3-dimensional array.
Okay, so it will goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Anybody else? Any doubt? Now if we'll say, okay, now A is equal to np dot array. I'll create it. 1, 2, 3. I'll say comma 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now I'll say I already mentioned you A0. It will be the entire 0th row. If I'll say A0 0, it will be 0th element of 0th row. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say A 0, 2, it will give me value 3. 0th row, 0, 1, 2, second column. This value is 3. With me?
Yes.
I'll say A 0 to 1. It will say it will start from 0, but it will not cover 1. If I'll say A, yeah. Any question? Anybody has? I'll say A.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please come from line number 100?
I said here I made it like this. A is equal to numpy dot array. I created an array. I'll say 0, which means the actual 0th element is this. This is the 0th element.
Okay, sir.
It is given this. If it is 0, 0, the 0th element of 0, it will give me 1.
Okay.
1 is the 0th element of 0. If I'll say 0, 2, then it will say 0 row. 0 row is this. And value at second column. Second column is 3. 0, 1, 2. It will give me 3. If I'll say 0 to 1, it will say it will start from 0 and goes till 1. 1 is not inclusive. So it will say 0. If I'll say A 0, 2, then it will give me both the elements 0 and 1. 2 is exclusive. With me? I'll say A 0, 1. It will say this has become row and this become column. I said all the columns of 0. Earlier it was also working. By default it is row only. Same is the thing that we have seen in pandas. If I'll say A it prompted error. Why? Because I have to say now it will say all rows and 0th column. Are you with me? Are you guys with me?
No, sir.
Come again, sir.
Could you
So-
repeat?
Yeah. So the thing is, so now we have been going with slicing of the NumPy array as a thing that we have seen with pandas, like the way we have used .iloc and .loc. Same is a thing that we have been trying to do with NumPy array. So in
Sir?
NumPy array, the same format is being followed.
Excuse
When
me,
I
sir.
say, yeah,
Sir, can I convert a three-dimensional NumPy array into a pandas data frame?
yeah, we can do that. I'll tell you. So
Can you show an
that is
example of that?
yeah, I'll tell you. So it is just say pd.data frame and pass that array, it will be converted. But let me cover this slicing first. Then these are the things like how to convert dictionary to panda data frame, how to convert NumPy array to data frame. These things will be covered, don't worry. So just
Okay.
be focused on this slicing. This is very important. So the way we have done the slicing of pandas data frame, that with the help of .loc and .iloc, if you guys remember just last week. So same is the thing how we can select the values in NumPy array through slicing. So same is the format is being followed, that is row starting, row ending, row starting, colon, row ending, comma, column starting, colon, column ending. Same is the thing that we have seen in .iloc, if you guys remember. So here as well, the similar kind of a format is being followed. So here what we have been doing is, I said, so yeah, here I said, I have created an array, np.array 1 2 3 4 5 6. I said a say 0:1. What does it mean? 0th. So by default it is row. So okay, let me tell you. Let me write it down. It's say a this comma this. Here it comes row start, row end, column start, column end, and by default it's row. If I specify a 0:1, then 0:2 or 1, it is row automatically. For column, I need to specify like this. Okay, this means starting from 0 till 1, I need the row. Starting from 0 till 2, I need the columns, the way that I mentioned right. So here, what I've done is, I said a 0:1, which means starting from 0 till 1. Till 1 is, which means 0 only. It will give me the value of rows. 0 till 2, that is 0 and 1, give me the value of the rows, because I have not specified comma. If I specify comma here like this, I said all rows and 0 till 1, which means 0th column, and the 0th column being this 1 and 4. Are you guys with me? If you have any doubt, you can ask again. I'm fine to repeat it.
So why can't we address it like iLog?
No, that is a format. So the way to write small a will remain small a only. We cannot call it a capital A. Both the things are different. Here it is a NumPy array, that was pandas.
So you mean to say, sir, that accessing the particular array or accessing the particular element in the data frame is method is same, like in iloc or like here.
Yeah, the inner method is same. There we use iloc. Here we are not using iloc. The format is different, but the method is similar.
Okay.
So there the loc has another method, but iloc is a thing that we use as a same kind of a method. With me?
Sir,
Now
can
if
you
I'll say,
speak louder?
come again.
Could you repeat it?
So if I'll say, okay, I'll repeat it. I created a simple NumPy array. If I'll say A 0:2, it will select the 0th and first row. Okay. If I'll say A sorry, it will select the 0th and first column. If I'll say A 0:2, it will select the value at 0th row and second column. If I'll say A 0 and first row and second column, it will select the 0th row and the value at second column, same as this. Because here it is still 0, which will automatically be a 0 only. 1 is not inclusive and value is not inclusive. Are you guys with me?
Sir, I got an error. It says too many indices for array.
What did you pass?
A of 0:1, comma.
So what is your A array?
A array is np dot array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2-dimensional.
It has two like the brackets like this.
Yeah,
Have you-
now I got it, sir.
Okay. So, but
Yeah.
everybody, did you get the concept?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, if I'll say A 0:1, 1:2, it will give me the value 2. But here there is a thing to notice. That is, when I said 0:2, it has given me a single value. But when I said 2, just give me a second, guys. My PC is going off. But when I said A 0:1,1,2, then it has given me the value in 2 dimensions. Why is my question from you guys.
Repeat.
So can you see the last value that I passed? That we got as an output?
Yeah, 0:1 and 1.
Yeah, so here the 2 is coming in 2 square brackets.
Because it is a 2-dimensional array, and you have to like just tell.
Because I passed what is the value at 0th row? Like I want a 0 row in a dimension, and then I said first column in a dimension. If I simply say, in place of this, if I simply say 0:1, then the value of 2 will come, but it is not into these 4 square brackets.
So because of that colons, it will understand it is a multidimensional array. And
Yeah. So the thing is, if I'll say A okay 0 comma 1 A comma 1, it will give me the value 2, and here as well it give me the value 2. The difference is, here I have been referring to a particular value, here I have been referring to a dimension 1, then another dimension, 2 rows and columns. That's why it is giving me a value in dimensions. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now if I'll say,
Sir,
yeah,
sir, when we write 0:1, that means it is running through 0th column or 0th row and the first row as well, or only
yeah, that's why it is coming into dimension.
Okay.
Now if I'll say A 0 colon 1 and 1 okay, before this A 0 colon 1 and I'll say colon 2. Okay, first A. Now it's I say 0 colon 1, which will give me the 0th row. What is 0th row? 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay. And when I said double colon 2, it means alternate value from the first row. That is first and then third. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
No. Can you repeat?
So I said, this is the array
Yes.
A. I said A 0 colon 1. What does it mean? I need the
Just
0th
two.
row. 0th row.
Okay.
Then I said, this means alternate value. It will first pick 1, skip 2, pick 3, skip the another one in case it has many more values, and do like just like that. It will say 1 and 3. So it will skip the
Skip
one
two.
value from between.
So how is it 0 colon 1? How is it even tracing?
When I
Zero.
say A
Okay.
0 colon 1, what does it mean? The 0th row?
And the first column.
First is not inclusive. So every time when we say,
Oh, yeah.
so it will say 0th row. If I'll say 0 comma 2,
0th column.
then
0
it will
comma
say 0 and 0th row and first row. It will give me 0th and first row. But if I'll say A 0 colon 1, it is referring to 0 only, because the last here 2, so it will go from 0 to 1, so till 2, which means 0 and 1. Here it will be 0 and till 1 is 0 only, so it will come to 0th row.
Oh, okay.
If I'll
But
say
sir, sir, what is the output in 122? Like 0 colon 1, after that we are putting comma. So then also it works the same way.
so because here I have been saying whenever we specify 2 colons, it means I have been asking for an operation on row only. It is not an operation on column. If I'll say a single colon, say here, this means I have been asking for some operation on column. But if I specify 2 colons, this means I have been asking for operation on a row only.
No, sir. I'm asking that we have written 0 colon 1 in line 126. So that means that only 0th row in here as well, or the first row it will include or not include?
No. Every time when I say 0 colon 1, it is a rule of Python. Whenever you specify anything in this format, the last value, last index is not included. If I say 0 comma 5, this means 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. 5 is not included. It says till 5.
Okay.
Sir, what happens if we put in row 126 colon 3?
So it will skip two values.
Okay.
Let me see. Even for me as well, I will say it has taken one. If anything comes after 3, it will take.
Okay. Got it.
With me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow we will cover about the 3-dimensional arrays. I will not start it now because of 2 reasons. One is we have less time, and second is if I'll cover it, then you guys will be more confused. So this is the thing which we have, which I have for today. But tomorrow I will cover more into the NumPy arrays.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So you will find this in your LMS portal tomorrow, and we will be covering with more detail in NumPy today. NumPy is important because whenever we will be working on deep learning and AI, NumPy plays a very important role, because whenever we convert, so when in deep learning, what we do, we will work on image data. Whenever an image is being converted into a machine readable format, it is being converted into a NumPy array only. So that's why from that perspective as well, NumPy is very important. This 2-3 dimension. Whenever, okay, let me give you an example. So you have a colored image and you have a black and white image. When the system reads your colored image, it is a 3-dimensional array. Whenever your system reads a black and white image, it is a 2-dimensional array, and that is a NumPy array only. Okay, guys. So that's why through 3-dimension and 2-dimension are important. That's why I will cover the 3-dimensional array tomorrow. Till today, we have covered the 2-dimensional. Okay, guys. So we'll meet tomorrow at 8:30.
Okay, sir. Sir, I
Sir?
want to know.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please go on.
I want to know last week topics. Just can you tell me that so I can learn through the. I can learn. That's the reason.
So the previous topics that we have covered,
Yes.
we have covered like how normally we started with
Python basics, right?
Python basics. In Python basics, we have seen how to load the package, what is a library, the structure of a Python, where it loads the library, where it loads the packages, which are the packages that come by default, which are the packages that we can load, and what are the ways to load the package through Navigator, through like normal download, through pip, through Conda. We have seen the IDs, Spider ID and the Jupyter ID. And after that, we have gone to the pandas. In pandas, we have covered a normal pandas library, how to read the Excel file, how to read the CSV file, and how to perform certain operations on it, say selecting a row, selecting a column, how to after the apply a condition into, say, selecting a particular value in it. So after that, we have covered functions, and now we have been covering the NumPy. These are the things which we have covered.
Okay. Okay. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody else who?
Yes, yes, sir. So
Yeah.
actually, this double colon 2 means it is selecting this second number from the array on row wise.
Which one you are referring to?
Line 126, sir.
This says that, okay, first is 0:1, which means it is selecting the 0th row.
Yes.
And every alternate value it is selecting. So it will go to 1, it will skip 2, it will start, it will pick the 3.
Okay.
Every value, so it will say it has been selecting the even numbers of the values here. Sorry, odd numbers, 1, 3, 5. These are the numbers which it is picking.
And when we have written 3, then, sir?
Then it will say 1, it will skip 2 values in between and pick the third value. Then skips again 2 values and picks the another value.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, anybody else, any doubt? Okay, guys. So we'll be tomorrow at 8:30 with the extensive use of NumPy arrays tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.